dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's nWp, the Sexy Ninja. If I sound different, I've been using my voice most of the day. This cold or flu, whatever. I've been cheering and yelling, especially with this Monday Night Raw we're going to talk about. So I'm going to keep it easy because I don't want to go into a coughing fit. If you listen to the podcast I just dropped, a lot of that was edited because I would be talking and I just feel it. I'm like, they kept checking the time marks. I think there's like one cough in there I missed, but it wasn't too bad. It was like a little, So we're going to keep it easy, keep it smooth. Welcome to the New World Podcast. This is nWp, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, the last Monday Night Raw of the year 2025, December 29th. Joe and Wade on commentary, and we know the commentary team is going to flip. And this Friday will be the premiere of SmackDown, going back to 3 hours. I still don't know how I feel about that, but we shall see. We're here for Raw at the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, boy. They started off with Division. And that is the thumbnail for this show. You'll see on Buzzsprout. You'll see on YouTube and all that. The reason I like this shot so much is like, this is an album cover, The Vision, straight out of Raw. That like I was just like the aura of these guys, and especially Braun Breaker when the lights hit. He's just like, I'm Braun Breaker, and they come out there. Heyman's trying to talk. CM Punk is being chanted. And guess what? CM Punk comes out. This was one of my favorite things here. I got to say a good moment of the night because Punk pushes Braun Breaker to give a great promo. And Punk's like, why am I here? What am I doing? What am I doing? It's up to you, kid. And Braun goes, yeah, and Braun's just laying it on and I'm going to whoop your ass and blah, 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 blah. And Punk's like, okay. He's like, you know what? I'm not ready in the sense of I'm not ready to lose this championship. No way, no how. So you can be ready all you want. You can talk all you want, but you ain't no CM Punk. And I was like, damn. But I got to say, Braun brought it. CM Punk didn't make him look foolish. I'm glad the Vision backed off so we can have these two face to face. Because when next week rolls around for the new year, it is Raw. All right, stop with the voice. Ooh, Raw is Stranger Things. Oh yeah. Raw is Stranger Things. They got a mixed promotion here, but I really enjoyed this opening segment of Raw. We go to Jackie. She's with Raquel. And then Raquel has a big match up next for the Women's World Championship. Of course, Liv. Of course, Roxanne. We got your back. We got your back, girl. Right, Raquel's like, nah. But you can see Liv is planning something. Like you can tell on her face, she's planning something. So I'm just leaving that there because I'm just like, what are you cooking, huh? What are you cooking? A World Championship match, Nikki versus Stephanie versus Raquel. I thought this was just going to be bad because of Nikki. She held her own. It was mostly Raquel and Stephanie, and this match got this is awesome chant, and I agreed. I agree with that. I really did enjoy it. I'm glad that Nikki did not get the devil's kiss because when she sold it at Survivor Series with her arms just like, hold on. My favorite, really fun part of this match, she gets to STFU and then everyone's like, thank you, Cena. And she's like, no, thank me. really fun stuff here. But yeah, the really fun match right here to get, like, we got the Vision stuff and all that Punk. Then we go into this match. But guess what? Stephanie Van Kier is still our women's world champion. You know, I was hoping, I was like praying to God. I was like, please. If Raquel wins it, okay. If Nikki wins it, we riot. But no, Raquel took out Nikki. Stephanie took advantage, took out Raquel, pinned Nikki for the 1, 2, 3. And still our champ, La Primera, Stephanie Van Kier. And Jackie's with Gunther. You know, he has his little merchandise, which I love that he wore tonight. He doesn't wear his merchandise. That's what's the best part about it. And if you haven't seen the shirt, it's him choking out John Cena. It says, tap like, yeah, put that there. But Gunther gets faced by R-Truth, and then it sets up a match for those two. And we get the Kabuki Warriors and Rio. Kabuki Warriors out there yelling and, this and that. Then Rio comes out, and it ends in a big fight. So, yeah, I'm excited for this match. I'm excited to see what we do here. You know, New Year. We got this cross-promotion with Stranger Things. I'm like, let's go, Dan. You see how I'm not trying to use the voice that bad. Then we get Rey Mysterio. He's working out backstage, and Punk's like, hey, go shut this fool up, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, I got your back. Rey tells him, like, yeah. You know, Paul thinks he gets all these calls and favors he can call in. I do as well. So it's like, who we talking about, Rey? Who we talking about? So Punk's like, respect. Then Gunther versus R-Truth. It was okay. You know, he made R-Truth tap out, which I thought was kind of funny. But Gunther got the win. And like I said, he wore his own merch to the ring. He never wears his merch. It's just, he's either in a suit or his robe and whatnot. But he wore his shirt that says, he made John Cena tap like a little bitch. But Gunther gets the win. We get the Usos backstage. Jay's in his head, and Jimmy's like, what's up? And he's like, dog, he goes, nothing's been going right for me. And the last thing I want to do is have not things go right for you, Us. And Jimmy's like, hey, man, there's people out there, they love you. Remember, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. So then Jay's like, all right, let's do this. They got a big tag team title match tonight, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. You best watch out. Then we go right into an Oba Femi package. I was like, oh, he's coming. He's coming hard. He's going to come so hard on this roster. Like the ruler he is. Yes, that was meant to sound dirty. But I was like, okay. That just means Oba's losing that NXT championship here very soon. So, but I was very happy about the Oba Femi package. AJ and Dragon's backstage. Javon's like, what's up? The Americanos get in their face. Americanos speaking in their language. And Javon's like, I don't know what's going on. AJ's like, I don't know what's going on. Dragon's like, hey, the pendejos. And they're like, oh, can you tell us more what they said? So I think this is going to set up a 3-on-3 match. But AJ and Dragon need to focus on the tag team. And I like that AJ was like, hey, if we retain these championships, Javon, Leon, we got to run it back. And I'm like, please, because that tag team match was awesome. And we go right into the Vision backstage. Series getting ready. Paul's like, well, welcome. Because at the starting of the show, I forgot to mention that they officially welcome Austin Theory into the Vision. And Theory. And then Paul's like, hey, not Paul, Logan, still Paul. Logan Paul was like, yeah, when I first did this, I was a little hesitant and blah, 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 but you killed it, brother. And then Paul Heyman tells him, like, hey, why don't you two, Logan and Austin, why don't you go out there together, watch his back? And Logan's like, okay. And that's our next match. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory has kind of his same entrance, like pose-wise, which I didn't mind before, but he's got new music. He has a new look, and I'm just like, you know what? This is the guy I fell in love with. This is the Theory I want. So Theory goes out there with Rey Mysterio. They're tearing it up in the ring. But, of course, Logan Paul is there. And he grabs Rey at some certain point because, he was getting shenanigans and whatnot after Rey got the 619 on Austin Theory. And causes a big DQ, so no one wins the match. And, of course, a beat down to Rey Mysterio. But it's like, all right, CM Punk's going to save him, right? Right? No. Cierro Muero. Oh, my gosh. I was so excited. I almost strained the voice there. I'm sorry for going in high pitches, low pitches, low pitches. I'm trying to reserve this voice as best as possible. But I got so excited because Penta came out. We haven't seen Penta in a little bit, but he came out there to save Rey Mysterio. He was all jacked up. So much so, I noticed his mask wasn't tied all the way. So, he was just like, all right, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to save Rey, blah, blah. Penta's back. So, Cierro, okay? Throw him up. Damn. That was awesome. Rio cuts a packet. They have a package because they didn't really say much when they came out with the Kabuki Warriors. Rightfully so. They're like, we're going to win those tag team championships. But you got to remember, they already have Nia and Lash out there. They have Charlotte and Alexa. A lot of stuff happened on SmackDown. So I don't know if they're going to win those tag team championships, but I feel like we're building to something more as a fatal four-way for those tag team championships. Maybe at Royal Rumble. But I was wrong about that, too, because remember, Cody and Drew are fighting in Berlin, for the championship in 3 stages of hell. And I was like, okay, whatever. We get a Maxine Dupree segment. And, of course, Becky comes out. I got to say, Maxine is really coming along. Like, I feel the new attitude. I feel the swagger. I feel this and that with Maxine Dupree. Like, still needs a little work. And, and Becky's just Becky. I love what she's doing here. And she's like, I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice to you, Maxine. But next week, I'm going to whoop that ass and get my Intercontinental Championship back. Maxine's like, bring it. Bring it. Guess what? I'm going to make you tap again. And Becky's like, all right. So Becky's like, welcome to the big time. Throws the mic and we go away. But like I said, Maxine still needs to clean up the mic skills, clean up the ring skills. But I feel like with maybe it's just like a year or maybe a couple, Maxine's going to have it down. Because I am seeing a totally new Maxine Dupree. Like when she walked out there, I was like, holy shit. This is a superstar. This isn't the Maxine that won this title. This is a different Maxine. So, Natalya, to you for shaping and molding this Maxine Dupree that we're getting today. Shit, you don't even need to call her Dupree. Just call her Maxine. Keep the 2 X's. Whatever, brother. Whatever. But no, I was very excited about this segment just because I'm like, we saw a whole new Maxine. And Becky being Becky, can't go wrong with that. And then we have Adam backstage, and he was talking to my boy. I'm about to scream. Don't scream. I was screaming at the TV all night. But he's talking to my boy. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Talking to my boy Trick Williams, Trick Willie. And I was like, oh, please. And it's only natural that he comes to Raw. Why? Because Melo is on SmackDown, so I would only think that coming to Monday Night Raw would be the best thing for Trick Williams. Let's keep them away from each other. Let's keep, like they did with Penta and like they did with Rey Fenix. Let's wait until that reunion is earned. You know what I mean? We get, because Melo just won the United States Championship and whatnot, but Trick talking to Adam just put a big old smile. You want to know how I got these scars? A big smile on my face, man. But then here comes Bayley and here comes Lyra. They're like, hey, what about our match? We got next, right? Bayley calling Adam an idiot and this and that. And Adam's like, hey, I will work something out. Lyra's like, hey, I'm sorry about her. Like, no, just go. And he's like, get me a drink. I was yelling at the TV, get me a drink too. Let's reset myself. All right, let's reset myself. I'll drink a little bit of tea. Tag team championships on the line here. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Usos. Match of the night. Might as well, I sound like somebody that's like a hardcore smoker. Might as well have the little thing that goes like, match of the night. But no, this was a badass match. Crazy spots. I thought AJ and Dragon were going to keep these championships a little bit longer. They even mentioned during the match AJ is going to retire sometime next year. So he just needs to keep getting the W's, the Usos. I thought, before we talk about the finish, I thought that Jay was going to turn on Jimmy. And this was the starting of yes, new Jay, evil Jay. Evil, come to the dark side, don, 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 don. But no, crazy finish here, man. Fucking Jimmy super kicks Dragon into next week. They did a super kick to AJ Styles, and they took out Dragon Lee. Then they got the 1, 2, 3, and we have new tag team champions. The Usos are, I think they said ninth, right? So we got new tag team champions. We still have 10 minutes left in the show, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Nothing? All right, well, we're going to January 5th for Raw is Strange. Then the Royal Rumble is January 31st. Then starting almost in the middle of the month, we're going on this tour for the Royal Rumble across seas, which I feel like is cool to do. So we shall see what we're building to the Royal Rumble. Then in January, February, March, April, then in 4 months, we have WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And then next year is going to be in Saudi Arabia. So lots going on. But yeah, that was the last Monday Night Raw I'm talking about, you're listening about for the year 2025. It's been a year. I'm going to reflect real quick, especially for this podcast. There are certain shows I was looking for, and at the end of 2024 and early 2025, I was so burnt out on wrestling, and I decided, I'm going to try to do shows twice a week, do Dynamite Raw, on a Friday, and do SmackDown and Collision or pay-per-views on a Sunday. And for me, I really didn't like that format. Because I felt so behind in talking, and I really like the idea, especially with the podcast of the New World Podcast itself. It's I'm documenting these days, and when I'm compiling all of them, it just seems a little lazy to me. Well, if I want to get out of that, why don't I just do some other stuff, Section Ninja Cast and this and that, So 2026, though, coming around, I'm still doing this format for these shows, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good at them, and I want to keep progressing that, but I also have some other things I'm planning, more Section Ninja Cast, Juggalo Vlogs, a show called Get Clown, and a couple other things with some other people that I'm thinking about as well. So, I want to just get the best out of it. I know to the longtime listeners, everyone that's been riding with us, who've jumped on this channel, who subscribed to this channel, subscribed to the podcast, they were getting the social event, they were getting this and that. Thank you. I know pro wrestling is not for everybody, but to the few who followed hardcore, with the New World Podcast, just thank you, man. It just means a lot when I get my brother, and all that from my homie. You know who you are, always commenting. I'm always liking your comments and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm about to get a big sneeze here. I'm trying to get through this fast, but it's just nothing but love, man. Nothing but love and respect at the end of the day. So I hope you had a good 2025. If not, we got 2026. Keep rocking with me. Keep rolling with me. More visual podcasts coming. More visual shows coming. I hope he can have a really great new year. And this is the last Monday Night Raw. Tomorrow's the last SmackDown. And then Wednesday is the last Dynamite of the year when I go back to work, sadly. But it's okay. And then we start a whole new, fresh page. And this is season 5 of this iteration. 316 episodes. And this is book New World Podcast Volume 11 for the notes. It's giving up for the notes. Yeah. So that's it. That's all. Match of the night. Usos versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. Moment of the night. It's that opening segment between Braun Breaker and CM Punk. It was a fun show. 4 out of 5. But, tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Share it to your grandma, share it to your grandpa, share the bum down at Walmart. I am KB the Sexy Ninja. And thank you to the next podcast for NXT and then Dynamite. I love every single one of y'all. And remember, I can't do it low, but we'll do it right now. That the New World Podcast is for life. Or for life, brother.
But you're right, we're not the same. Because one of us is CM Punk.